Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your daily dose of zombies news from the game and its community here on COD Zombies HQ. Thank you so much for tuning in today. There is a lot of very interesting stuff to talk about as it relates to Treyarch and Cold War Zombies, so let's kick things right off with our first story of the day. A new big patch update was released for Cold War Zombies today that looked to make both some changes and additions to the mode. First off, unfortunately, there appears to be a bunch of players that still experience a lot of crashing issues when you're playing the new Zombies Outbreak game mode, with players reporting that a lot of these crash issues would occur when completing one of the Outbreak objectives. Well, in response, Treyarch has come out and said along with this update, they've added various stability fixes related to objectives themselves in the Outbreak game mode, so hopefully for you guys that are probably tearing their hair out when trying to play the Outbreak mode crashing on high rounds, that won't be a problem for you any longer, and for those of us that haven't really been crashing that often in the Outbreak mode, this just hopefully guarantees a problem like that won't just randomly pop up again in the future. Next up, speaking of tearing your own hair out, there's a major bug in the Outbreak game mode during the retrieve step where you gotta grab canisters and deliver them to the launcher location. Well, if you end up going down while you're trying to empty the canister, or if the player that was carrying the canister left during the game would just straight up soft lock. You wouldn't be able to progress, you can't empty the canister anymore, it's basically game over. So because of this, we were advising players to be very careful during the retrieve objective in the Outbreak mode, especially if you were the person carrying the actual objective canister. Well, Treyarch has said that as of this update, they seem to have fixed like half of the issue itself, saying they resolved an issue that prevented completing the objective if a player carrying a canister left a co-op match in progress. So like we said, this issue could have been caused in two ways. The first way was that the person carrying the actual canister to the objective left, therefore soft locking the game. Treyarch has said that they have fixed this issue, but of course that still leaves the other way that this could happen, where there's a chance of this bug occurring if you get interrupted while actually emptying the canister into the launcher. Our recommendation to prevent this in your game would be to save the bonus field upgrade ability you get when carrying the canister, using it right before trying to empty the canister, but give it like 2 or 3 seconds after using your field upgrade to begin the filling process to ensure that all the zombies around you and the special zombies that have ranged attacks don't get a chance to launch one off in the middle of their animation as you're starting to fill the objective, which is unfortunately what happened to this player here. That way you won't have to worry about any zombies attacking you, possibly interrupting that filling up process and causing this bug, meaning it's game over. Next up, around a week ago in a prior Zombies news update video, we kind of headlined that video talking about the major issues associated with the new Frenzied Guard Field Upgrade that concluded with advising players probably to stay away from using it in regular survival zombies matches for now. That was originally because that field upgrade could cause invincible plague hounds to spawn in. Treyarch has claimed to fix that in their prior update, but it could also cause an issue like this that we featured in that video, where using the field upgrade would cause this white box to expand on your screen. In the case of this player, it wasn't that bad. You can still kind of see what you're doing, but I saw another clip recently of this player who had the same issue, and as you can see, this white rectangle just had no brakes, man. It covered the entirety of this player's screen, meaning by the time his Frenzied Guard was over, he had no idea where he was, which easily could have been a down for him if it wasn't near the end of the round. Well, Treyarch has claimed to fix that today, saying they resolved an issue that caused graphical corruption, yeah, you can say that again, when using the upgraded Frenzied Guard Field Upgrade. So now, with those two major issues associated with the Frenzied Guard Field Upgrade solved, I think we can absolutely recommend using the Frenzied Guard Field Upgrade again. It's pretty good in regular survival. I really like using it in the Outbreak mode, making sure you always have armor even in the higher rounds, as getting to an armor refill station in Outbreak is a lot more tedious than it is in a regular zombie survival map. Next up, we've now seen this happen in the 2 regular zombie survival maps that Treyarch has released into the game so far, where because of either some issue or some oversight, players were unable to access some of the intended Easter egg intel content within a zombies map. And that has occurred once again on Firebase Z, where over a month after the map's actual release, Treyarch has finally enabled 3 separate pieces of Easter egg radio intel on the map itself, saying they've addressed an issue where a player could not listen to 3 radio transmissions in Firebase Z. These 3 transmissions are very important as they essentially do confirm that the next regular zombie survival map will be set in Berlin, just as we all expected, just as the leaks have told us. Of these new transmissions that have finally been added, 2 can be found in the radio located in the Rocky Defense region, and 1 can be found located in the data center area of the map. Next up, we have got an insane story that is almost too wacky to believe, but it's true. So if you're watching this video today, hello, thank you for watching, by the way. You're probably a pretty big fan of COD Zombies, as am I. Now just imagine for a second that you've been home for a very long time, you haven't had anything to do, you've never played Cold War before, but you really want to. You can get it online, but you don't have enough space on your game consoles and don't want to delete any of your other games, so you gotta buy a physical version. But just imagine that in this case, you aren't a free person, that you are wanted by the police, and know that they are looking for you. The question is, do you leave your house to go and buy the newest Call of Duty to hop in and enjoy all the new Zombies action? Because, you know, no one's buying it for multiplayer now, come on. Or do you stay nice and safe in your own house? Well, the extended preamble to this story is because this is a story that actually happened. Somebody faced this exact scenario, and do you know what they did? Well, I guess they did what any other gamer bored out of their mind would do. They went out and picked up the new Call of Duty. And in the case of 36-year-old Clint Butler from Birmingham in the UK, that cost him his freedom once again, as he was a recent prison escapee and police tracked down his location when he was going out to buy the new game. This guy straight up just risked it all to play some COD, and you know it's bad when the cops release a statement to the media afterwards, basically just straight up chirping you. So in his shoes, would the draw of this new version of COD Zombies make you do as he did? Well, only you guys can answer that. I'd love to see your responses down in the comments. Next up, a bit of a warning. Next time you're playing the Outbreak mode and you're searching around inside one of the enclosed houses on one of the Outbreak maps, have a mimic in the room with you, and if you do, try to take it down as quickly as possible. Because if you don't, as with the many issues we've seen with the mimic on Firebase Z, they can also occur on Outbreak, where this poor man got flung inside of a closet in one of the houses in an Outbreak map, effectively ending the game for him. He can't get out of here. The Mimicky boys sent him into the Shadow Realm, or I guess the Closet Realm. But next up, the moment that you all have been waiting for. I know you guys don't care about any of the Zombies news that we've talked about. You're here for one reason, and that's for the newest edition of Outbreak versus Vehicles. And because I'm feeling generous, let's go for a double feature today. Kicking things off in style with Mason Jordan over on Twitter, who's channeling his inner Tony Hawk with a very smooth looking Pop Shove It that he's able to perform with his Jeep. Would have been nice to see a little bit of a manual coming out of the Pop Shove It, but his Jeep did a great job nonetheless. But while we are going for the double-double, and while the Jeep seems to be affected by, you know, this thing called gravity, the Escort Rover apparently does not have that rule apply to it. As shown off by Harrison over on Twitter, his Rover just decided gravity does not apply to me, man, and just floats around upside down in the air for a little while. As we've seen in prior editions of Outbreak vs. Vehicles, the Rover does what the Rover wants to do, and if you think you can control it, you can't. But guys, that wraps up the news today. I want to thank you so much for watching. Hey, if you did enjoy it, why not leave a thumbs up on the video down below? Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if by the off chance one of you out there is a prison escapee, doesn't have Call of Duty Zombies yet, just bite the bullet and download it online. But I want to thank you again for watching, and I'll see you with another Zombies news update tomorrow. Peace.